The conference room aboard the Celestial Harmony fell silent as Ambassador Hannah Reeves accidentally knocked her stylus off the edge of the holographic table. The small metallic pen clattered against the floor, rolling beneath the seats of the Galactic Council's newest inductees, 3 juvenile Vraxian warriors who had been assigned as diplomatic attaches. What happened next would become legend across 7-star systems. The 3 Vraxian cubs, Thronak, Zesh, and Korvax, simultaneously lunged for the fallen object. Their powerful scaled bodies collided mid-reach, creating a tangle of claws, tails, and protective armor. Within seconds, what had been a formal diplomatic briefing descended into absolute chaos. Mine. Thronak snarled, his bioluminescent crest flaring bright orange, a sign of aggressive determination among his species. I saw it first. Zesh countered, attempting to wrestle the stylus from Thronak's grip. Korvax, the smallest but quickest of the 3, had already wedged himself underneath both his competitors, stretching his tri-fingered hand toward the pen with single-minded focus. Hannah watched in bemused shock as 3 apex predators, each capable of tearing through reinforced titanium with their bare claws, essentially turned into overgrown puppies, fighting over a stick. Around the table, the senior members of various species exchanged knowing glances. The Krell ambassador's tentacles rippled with barely suppressed laughter. The Andromedian delegate's crystalline form refracted light in patterns that indicated profound amusement. Evan Torres, Hannah's human colleague and security liaison, leaned over and whispered, "Should we intervene?" "Not yet," Hannah replied, fighting to keep her diplomatic composure. This is fascinating, and it was. The Vraxians were known throughout the galaxy as one of the most fearsome warrior races. Their homeworld of Vraxis Prime was a death world by anyone's standards. Gravity 3 times Earth's normal, atmosphere thick with corrosive particles, and predators that made terrestrial tigers look like house cats. Vraxian adults stood nearly 8 feet tall, possessed strength that could bend durasteel, and had been the galaxy's premier mercenary force for over 2,000 years. Yet here were 3 of their youth, literally wrestling each other for the privilege of returning a human's dropped pen. "This is undignified," Thronak roared, though he showed no signs of releasing his grip on Zesh's tail. "Then surrender the honor to me," Korvax shot back, having finally secured the stylus in his claws. He attempted to stand, only to be immediately tackled by both his competitors. The briefing's host, Admiral Kreshtar of the Unified Fleet, cleared his throat, a sound like grinding stones. "Perhaps we should resume the—" "No," all 3 cubs shouted in unison, their translator units perfectly synchronized. Hannah couldn't help herself. She laughed. It started as a small chuckle but quickly grew into genuine, unrestrained laughter. The sound seemed to freeze the 3 Vraxians mid-scuffle. They turned their massive heads toward her, predatory eyes wide with what could only be described as puppy-like concern. "Did we upset the human?" Korvax asked, his aggressive posture immediately softening. "Is she in distress?" Zesh added, releasing his grip on Thronak entirely. Thronak's crest faded from orange to a soft blue, the Vraxian color of worry. "We have failed in our duties." No, Hannah managed between laughs, wiping tears from her eyes. "I'm not upset. This is adorable." The word adorable hit the 3 cubs like a physical blow. Their universal translators worked perfectly, but the concept seemed to cause a system-wide malfunction in their warrior brains. "Adore, able," Thronak repeated slowly, as if tasting something foreign. Evan, who had been in diplomatic service long enough to understand cross-species dynamics, grinned and decided to explain. "Among humans, when something is adorable, it means it's endearing. Cute. It makes us want to protect it and feel affection toward it." "But we are warriors," Zesh protested weakly. "Warriors are not cute." "Tell that to my heart," Hannah said, composing herself. She stood and walked around the table, approaching the 3 cubs who now sat in a somewhat shamefaced huddle. The stylus lay forgotten on the floor between them. Kneeling down, which was necessary given that even the juvenile Vraxians were taller than her while sitting, Hannah picked up her pen. "Thank you, all 3 of you, for wanting to help me." The cub's crest simultaneously turned a deep purple, the color of profound honor being bestowed. "In human culture," Hannah continued, pulling out 2 additional styluses from her jacket pocket, "when someone shows kindness, we often reciprocate. Since all 3 of you wanted to help, I think all three of you deserve a reward. She handed each cub a stylus. The three warriors accepted their gifts with a reverence usually reserved for sacred relics. Their claws, which could shred armor plating, held the delicate writing instruments with surprising gentleness. We will guard these with our lives, Thronak declared solemnly. I will commission an honor case for mine, Zesh added. Korvax was already trying to figure out how to attach his to his ceremonial armor sash. Evan leaned toward Admiral Kreshitar. And that, Admiral, is why humanity has been so successful in diplomatic relations. We understand that sometimes the fiercest warriors still have hearts that respond to kindness. The Admiral's translator picked up the nuance in Evan's voice, pride mixed with affection. Your species continues to surprise us, Mr. Torres. You treat apex predators like the loyal companions they can become, Hannah offered, returning to her seat. The three cubs had taken positions around her chair like an honor guard, each clutching their stylus and looking infinitely pleased with themselves. The briefing continued, though it took several minutes for the other delegates to stop their various species equivalents of chuckling. The sight of three of the galaxy's most formidable warriors sitting at attention, occasionally glancing at their gifted pens with obvious pride, provided a backdrop of unexpected warmth to the proceedings. Later that evening, as Hannah and Evan walked back to their quarters, he shook his head in wonder. You do realize those three will probably tell that story for the rest of their lives, right? The time the human ambassador honored us with her sacred writing instruments. Hannah smiled. Good. Maybe it'll help them remember that strength isn't just about physical power. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is show you care about the little things. Behind them, unbeknownst to the humans, Thronak, Zesh, and Korvax were already arguing, this time about who would get to stand closest to Ambassador Reeves during tomorrow's session. Some things, it seemed, transcended species.